if the point was Goths are so back, as in all the Goths are climbing out of their crypts just to bitch to each other, well, we never stopped doing that. Welcome back, spooky cuties, or welcome to my hilariously low-budget channel. 'Tis I, of course, your ghost host with the most, Patricia Absinthe, here to bring you another discussion. I know I do those quite a lot, but this one, I waited so that I could really mull it over, think about it, formulate my opinions. I know I'm very late to this, but I wanted to talk about it in a thorough, dissected, more calm way. Because one thing I've noticed, a lot of creators will immediately hop onto whatever's new, of course, it's content. But a lot of the time, you don't get to really formulate your full opinion on it. And especially if something's rage baity, you're gonna leap on it. And I, as the little sister from a psycho religious household, I tend to go devil's advocate and try to see it from both perspectives. So as you read from the title and thumbnail, I want to discuss the Dazed article for Goth is so bad. So, oh boy, let's just talk about it. Goths are so back. Never left. From JoJo Siwa to the upcoming The Crow and Beetlejuice movies, it looks like the original alt subculture is back from beyond the grave. So first, Goth is undead. Second, original alt subculture, I mean, punk came first. And because Goth is post-punk, and there were still alternative subcultures historically forever. But okay. See, my main point as I get into this, a lot of Goths were very triggered by this article. And my perspective is that it was not written for us, about us, and it was not written by us. So this is written from the perspective of the same people who shaved half their head because Rihanna did, 10 years ago. The same people who see dark lipstick and go, oh, God! So it's misinformed, it's ignorant, it's not necessarily malicious, but it's not our perspective for our perspective. That's the main thing to keep in mind. Because of course, when I first saw that title and I clicked on it, I think not even an hour after it went live, I was like, what? But that's why we're discussing it, and that's why it's a discussion, and we're going to go through it, not just get mad and shit on it. We're actually going to talk about it and what's going on. In this newfangled world of cores and aesthetics, it appears that Goths, the original alt subculture, are back from beyond the grave. Admittedly, the term has been lazily used to signify a fashion trend's edginess in recent times. Oh, that was surprisingly illuminated. Shocked? See, pastel goth, which to be fair, there are, I can't say like Tumblr and pastel goth. Of course, I'm not going to defend it, but even so, I mean, you can still listen to goth music and love goth shit and express your spookiness in a different way. Health goth, of which, to be fair, I've actually thought about doing a fitness journey type thing and like making my own spooky home gym type thing, but that's a separate thing. And gothcore. Now, gothcore got me angry. When I first ever saw the term gothcore, I was like, why the fuck Does goth need core at the end? It's not cottage core, it's fucking goth subculture. Unless, of course, we're just talking fashion, but even so, you could just say gothic fashion. You'd be... Stop putting core on everything. But now it seems actual, genuine goths are stomping back into our hearts. Misleading take for where this article goes, but okay. I mean, to be fair, when goth shit gets more popular, so does goth in general. So then even though there will still be a ton of misrepresentation, there will still be more love and admiration for the genuine goths. Who decides if it's a genuine goth, you say? This week, Dance Moms alumni JoJo Siwa disturbed the internet with her Kiss-esque red carpet rebrand. Complete with jet black lips and extreme face paint, Kiss frontman Gene Simmons approved the look himself, deeming it both cool and extraordinary. Oof. I don't know who on her team even thought that was a good idea, or did that makeup. Because the bodysuit could have been cool, but what the fuck was that makeup? Oh. Last week, cosmetics brand e.l.f. also released a corpse paint collaboration with canned water brand Liquid Death. And the coffin-shaped vault containing the full range sold out in a flash. Part of the launch featured Julia Fox, who was shot walking as Saint Bernard while decked out in head-to-toe goth getup and a face of expertly applied corpse paint. Number one, goth and black metal are very separate things. Like, goth in general, like goths sometimes will also enjoy black metal and also do corpse paint. But in general, like the true corrupt black metal goths, because they're usually the rudest. Oh my god, you will get sneered, and depending on where and who you are, possibly a lot worse, for calling a black metal dude goth. Completely different, especially musically, and that's why I say, like, goth doesn't mean you're mutually exclusive for anything else. Like, I enjoy some black metal, and so do a lot of other goths, but not the same. Not the same at all. On her Instagram, she posted a behind-the-scenes image where you can see the exaggerated eyeliner wing leaking out through her hair to create a demonic halo effect, thanks to NYC hair artist John Novotny. What? Part of the fun of corpse paint is the fact that sometimes it's intricate, sometimes it looks like they did it with a kid's face paint set and then went tromping through the woods. Like, that's half the fun. According to data pulled from Google Trends, interest around the term goth has also been steadily increasing over the last 5 years in the UK. The realm of entertainment is always a good signifier of the wider cultural climate, and the film industry alone has been teasing remakes and sequels for cult classics on goth mood boards everywhere, including Beetlejuice, very excited for, The Crow. I'm going to include a mini rant when I'm done this part. And Nosferatu. This is presumably following the success of Netflix Addams Family reboot Wednesday. So for Beetlejuice and Wednesday, my biggest critique when it came to Wednesday is positive. It's the fact that it was so good because they had a goth story told by a goth. By having Tim Burton direct it and Danny Elfman do the music, like, it felt genuine, and it felt, I love the casting. I know there's going to be racist assholes for everything, but of course the Addams family, fucking Gomez Addams, will not, he will look like a Gomez. Like, hello. They've always been people of color, weirdos. Weirdos everywhere. But that's the main thing. And so, of course, Beetlejuice, it looks amazing because it's Tim Burton's. And it's got Winona Ryder. It's got Michael Keaton. It's gonna have Jenna Ortega, who, I mean, obviously, she got along with Tim Burton. She wants to be in it. Great. I bet she'll do wonderful in it. I'm excited for it. It looks amazing. Now, Nosferatu was already a goofy enough first Gothic film. First horror film. Silent film. One of my favorite parts will always be, oh no, the wolves, and it's fucking hyenas. But even so, Bill Skarsgård as Nosferatu, I can see it. Like, he could pull off Nosferatu. I think so. But the Crow. So my quick little grumpy grump before I continue is just that they're remaking The Crow in such a way that it is insulting. It is in the same way that I just said that Wednesday. You can tell it's from the perspective of by Goths for Goths. The original The Crow, it was a masterpiece. Especially compared to the comics, like the mood, the soundtrack, the casting, the whole thing. It felt broody. It felt gorgeous. It felt like a beautiful Halloween revenge masterpiece. It felt like a Gothic love story. This one, it doesn't even feel like it's like for modern alternative kids. It feels like what some dumb old rich white dudes thought that alternative kids would be into. It's like, oh yeah, this kind of looks like those like SoundCloud rappers. We'll go with that. It's like not even close. It looks like every other basic generic action movie, and it drives me nuts. So they cannot say Goth is so back for that one because it has no soul. It has no soul. It has nothing to do with The Crow. If they at least based it on one of the other Crows, sure, but the fact that they made it Eric and Shelley is just insulting, disappointing, disheartening, garbage. But, continuing on, Diablo Cody's new horror, Lisa Frankenstein, where a teen girl falls in love with a reanimated Victorian corpse who is also undeniably Gothic. When asked to give each character an anthem for Spotify, Cody explained that Lisa is a person who is very quiet but has the stirrings of rage inside of her before assigning her Bela Lugosi's Dead by Bauhaus. Okay, they get a point on that. Accurate. So, Bela Lugosi's Dead is arguably the first, like, true goth song. So, hey, good choice, just good. Good research for that one. I mean, sure, it's basic research, but research. Well, then again, I guess that would have been Cody's research and not the articles, but hey, I will take it. And even so, Lisa Frankenstein was much more in tone and styling and everything than The Crow looks. Even a primetime show like Coronation Street now has a token goth character. Second last time I was at the theater, like the theater, a little old lady actually leaned over and told me I look like that young lady from Coronation Street. Okay. This brings me joy. Because I was cute. A mainstream soap choosing to reflect youth culture in this way hasn't really been seen since Hollyoaks had a pair of on-screen emos. Aptly named Newt and Ray, at the height of the subculture's popularity in 2006. Yeah, for emo, that's pretty fair. For a second, I was like, nuh-uh, Goth's height of popularity would have been probably like 91, 92. But emo? Yeah, that makes sense, especially with Tumblr Tumblr and MySpace. Oh boy. Of course, with each new generation of goth-affiliated icons comes the tragic wails of snobbery from an army of sad sack gatekeepers hell-bent on dictating the rules of how to be a goth. Oh my god, I love that. Oh, tragic wails of snobbery from an army of sad-sacked gatekeepers hell-bent on dictating the rules of how to be a goth. Yeah. A hill I would personally be hung, drawn, and quartered on is that goth culture is just pop culture in a different and slightly more morose form. Oh, honey, no. Now, if we're going with, like, the trend of people who just hippity hop off and on, sure. Goth subculture? Worldwide goth subculture? Nay, nay. I'm drawn and quartered? Nay, nay. You still have to buy into it, opting for Demonias and New Rocks rather than Uggs and Birkenstocks. Fair dig. And purchase tickets for Download Festival and Bloodstock rather than Glastonbury and Coachella. I mean, kind of. I get the parallel they're bringing. It's all capitalism at the end of the day. But it's not supposed to be. And this is coming from a goth-adjacent, aged grebo with an office job. I will forever love goths, but I've never been able to tolerate the victim complex. If Finnish masked metalers Lordi want to be in Vogue Scandinavia holding Prada tote bags, that's on them. There was similar backlash when Wednesday launched in 2022, and just like clockwork, the same happened when the trailer for the Crow remake was released, as the original had such a monumental impact on the subculture's clothing and music. Okay, that one I disagree. Now, I would say at the time, it became literally a goth bingo card of any sort of club night or something of people dressed up as the Crow, like especially the Crow makeup. And the clothing? Not really. Like, I don't see that many people covered in electrical tape. Again, the makeup, at some points, sure. The clothing, not really an influence. And the music, they used metal and goth bands that existed prior, that were popular already. You want to tell me 9 Inch Nails wasn't an influence until it was used in The Crow? Girl, what are you doing? The Bill Skarsgård rendition was criticized for its aesthetic choices, which came across more SoundCloud rapper than 90s. Well, it looks like I spoke too soon. Brandon Lee S. Goth, and though that's genuinely how a lot of alternative men look nowadays. Dude, we wish. Oh, I get it. You're saying a lot of them look like the SoundCloud rapper Bill Skarsgård. Yeah, that's exactly why we're bitching. He doesn't look like the gorgeous goth icon. He looks generic internet weirdo. He looks like a dude who has his pee-pee out unsolicited on Reddit DMs. Like, nah. But goth has seen endless offshoots since the original film's release in 1994, and should be allowed to move along with the times as with everything else. See, and to that again, I do say, sure, especially seeing how there was more than one Crow. And that was, actually, remember to put it here, there was a very good criticism that there was a crow who looked like him. So if they just made it that crow, no problem. But it's the fact that they made it Eric and Shelley, when Eric and Shelley is literally based off of the writer's own grief. That's just fucked up. It's just fucked up. Last week, TikToker and podcaster Cleo's World posited that Hollywood loves to promote these fake edgy aesthetics to depolitize the youth and distract from the lack of intellectual substance. And maybe there's something in that. Maybe this is simply a big goth conspiracy, a way to distract us all from the violent right-wing governments, a cost of living crisis, and impending planetary destruction. Or maybe it's just another rapidly recycled trend, which means absolutely nothing. One thing is for sure, the great return of the what counts as a poser discourse, which never fails to lure goths from out of their crypts and onto the message boards, proves that, at least for now, goths are so back. Damn. Well, so of course there are things that I agree with, and that's what I'm saying, like, you have to approach these things from the middle, and I do understand and agree things have to move along, like, things are gonna change, they won't stop remaking shit, but, dude. Now, if the point was goths are so back, as in all the goths are climbing out of their crypts just to bitch to each other, well, we never stop doing that. It's just like I say with the big titty goth girlfriend or goth girlfriend fetish, like, it's always been there. Oh boy, it has always been there. The difference is when it's popular, more people are talking about it, people are being more open about it, and it gets more attention. And it's the same thing with this. Like, goth was around just as much before Wednesday. It'll be around just as much before Beetlejuice. It's even before the music. Goth was around. You want to argue that Mary Shelley wasn't goth? With her mummified heart? Hello? Again, it's... To be fair, especially for some people, especially when it comes to youth, things can lose their meaning and become capitalism. We're all bad for that. This top is from Killstar. But the whole... goth is post-punk. Goth is a political movement with music and obviously fashion and literature and architecture. Goth is a huge, full-blown subculture. Like, if you look, the festivals have been going on for years. Like, that's one of the reasons why when they said Download and Bloodstock, I was like, I don't see as many people excited for those. Like, I've always wanted to go to Wave, Gothic Treffen, and Mariluna. Fuck. What was the other one? What was the big one that everyone was going to recently? That's gonna bug me. But there's a different big one that I think happened. Yeah, it happened recently. Xander, Awfully Sinister, was there. Like, I'm gonna go with... I still stand by my original opinion that it was written from a not goth perspective. And it was less misinformed than I was even led to believe. Because... as they even said, they're goth adjacent. Even so, you think they'd be more open-minded? I don't know. That's why I like to read things, and I like to form my opinion and actually discuss it instead of just get, oh, they talked about Jojo Siwa, which is most of what I knew about that article. I don't know. I still go with not the greatest, not the best representation. I'm not, like, at first I was mad, then I was understanding, now I'm just ambivalent. Like, I guess to them, it's more so about capitalism and not politics, but to each their own. If that's what being goth means to you, go for it. But if being goth means more, like it should, that's good. And yeah, I want to know your thoughts. What do you think of JoJo Siwa's makeup? How do you feel about the new Crow? How do you feel about Tim Burton being back and doing goth shit again? Yes, I'm losing my voice. I've got to go. I hope you have a lovely day. Stay spooky, stay silly, stay sane, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one.